Hello, welcome to another episode of Talkin Rangers. Today is Thursday, January 30th. This is episode 55 of the Talkin Rangers podcast. Another week is here. Rangers, couple days off here, much needed after things were pointing up, 10 straight games with a point. They won, 4 of 5, dating back to that Utah win, finishing up with that 6-1 win over the Flyers, and then a back and forth game against the Avalanche on Sunday afternoon. Down 2-0, come back, tie it. Down 4-2, come back, tie it. And then terrible pass by Borgen gets intercepted by Makar coming out of the penalty box, and the Avs score with 14 seconds left. And it feels like that play translated right into Carolina, where the Rangers just didn't even show up. Another one of these games where they allow an early goal in the first period, 56 seconds in, I believe it was. I know it was under a minute. Svechnikov had 2 goals, actually, the first 2. Then Aho scored, and then Jarvis, I believe, was the final one as well. All early, all relatively early in the period. 3 of the 4, they came early in the period. I mean, the third period, too, was disappointing because you would have at least liked to see them get some fight, show some fight in the third period where it's 2-0 and maybe you come out and score and make it 2-1 and make it interesting, but that wasn't the case. There was 2 goals in about a span of in a minute and a half in that third period. So this has been a crazy season. I think we got to go back at the end of the year and watch each podcast because our mood swings must be crazy.
Like there was no mood swings for the first
there was
3 months. It was the same thing. Like it was a copy and paste.
And we have a special guest, Mika Spanajed, live interview.
Oh yeah. I didn't even.
Please give us a Mika answer. How do you feel after that loss against Carolina?
He'd be like, we just really got to get down to fundamental. He's like, I know we might have lost, we might have played a bad game, but I feel like we could have played a good game tonight. Sometimes it looks like maybe we're not playing well, we're not giving it all, but I can assure you guys we're playing our best. I just think that eventually we're gonna get there, and I think that Kreider's playing pretty well. I think that he's got two assists, but I feel like he's playing hard. He's got 2 assists, but he's playing hard, and I think at the end of the day we've proven it. We've made the playoffs, and I think that eventually it's going to turn around, and we have a lot of faith in this locker room, and I think we're going to be good eventually, but it will turn around. Season's still early. We'll make the playoffs, but I think we got to be better.
All right, there it is, live interview for Mika.
That's like a Mika.
Yeah,
says a lot.
Yeah, no energy, and
monotone,
very monotone, and usually a lot of excuses. I woke up this morning a little sore.
Yeah, no, my kid woke me up. Kid was crying in the middle of the night. Didn't get a good
driving to the rink, got stuck in traffic, was 10 minutes behind my pregame routine.
Yeah.
Messed up. They didn't pregame meal. They didn't, I don't know what do you think he is? You think he's like what do you think his pregame meal is?
Probably pasta. I feel like
pasta.
Go to
overcooked the pasta.
Yeah.
Pasta overcooked.
Something was in like the tomato sauce that kind of.
Yeah, they put meat sauce in instead of tomato sauce. Didn't feel right. So anyway, the first month, 2 months, really from October to November, there were no mood swings. Well, actually, there were, because the first 2 weeks it was good. They had that 6-0 win over Pittsburgh. They started off, 9-3-1. I think 12-4-1 was like the peak of the season, and then they started losing. So I guess about a month it was good, and then November to December was terrible, and now it's been kind of up and down the last couple episodes. Last episode we were back.
Yeah.
Now we're not back. Next episode we might be back again, which is very possible because the next time we speak, probably they'll have already another 2 games under their belt against Boston, which will be huge, and they'll also have Vegas in there as well, which obviously doesn't matter for playoffs.
Boston sandwiched in with Vegas, or Vegas is sandwiched in with 2 Boston games.
Yeah,
those are big games,
and it's back to back too. Boston, Vegas, Saturday, Sunday. So that's not. It doesn't make it easier at all.
Yeah,
but they gotta. We talked about it. They gotta finish strong before the break. They've only got 5 games left. It's the Boston, Vegas, Boston, and then it's next Friday and Saturday. back-to-back Pittsburgh, Columbus, and then that's it. You get that Four Nations face-off break, and then it's Buffalo coming out of that break. So these next 5 games are huge. You can't go into this break going 1-4 over these next 5 and have another slump here.
Oh, and
they've got
7.
they got to find a way to 0-7, including, that's a good point. Last 2 games, they got to find a way to bounce back. Just I guess thoughts on the team since we did the Mika interview. We haven't really given your thoughts yet. So, what are your thoughts on just the last 2 games? Feels like the Colorado loss leaked into Carolina. It was a slow start.
The Colorado loss is brutal.
That was one of the worst of the season.
I mean, so deflating. You're on the 10-game point streak. He kept coming back. They played well in that game. They outshot him.
Yeah, they played solid.
I thought, Blackwood played pretty well. Again, played pretty well the last game. You're playing well. You keep battling back. It looks like they're going to take a lead at some point in that game. Then you get the power play at the end of the period. 2 minutes, 40, 50 seconds, whatever it was. Like, okay, we get a point and we're going to win regulation. So you're feeling really good. The power play is atrocious. They don't score on it. And then you give a odd man rush goal with like 15 seconds left to wipe away a point, which was, if you play that game 100 times, you probably get at least 1 point 99 times.
Yeah.
So, that's frustrating. And then they played well for early in the game against the Hurricanes. And then I feel like once they gave up that second goal at the end of the second period, it's over. Again, the power play is just hot garbage. Panarin is my news advantage, Ed. He's been fucking terrible. Dude, how many times a game does he skate through the neutral zone, slow down, right, on a rush? Mm-hmm. The defenders get back on the back check, and then he fires across like a little like east-west pass, and he gets picked off at both blue lines. He turns the puck over so much in like really high danger chances or high danger areas where it's either going to be going back the other way in odd man rush or it's going to be kept in the zone for like a quick chance. And he doesn't back check either. You saw it right at the end of the Avalanche game.
Yeah.
He just did back check, which is ridiculous.
He kind of gave up on the play, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. He does it all the time.
He was just kind of casually. He looked like me at full speed.
Dude, all the guys that he was on with in the power play were already off the ice. So he didn't change. Yeah. He was out there extended shift, which he shouldn't have been. Yeah, and he's not a back checking player either. He never back checks. I don't know. He's pissing me off lately. He's nowhere near the form he was last year. He's not playing terrible offensively, but I don't know. He hasn't been good. Kreider, I was talking to my dad the other day about this. He's not even invisible. I can't think of a word to describe him. It's invisible to I don't know how, I can't even describe it. He's not even there at the game. Might as well be in the press box.
The missed open net was killer. That completely changed the way that Carolina game went. Because if he scores that, it feels like momentum could shift towards the Rangers. Rangers didn't play horrible.
The third period was terrible.
The third period was terrible, but the first 40 minutes they gave themselves a chance. Even with that missed net by Kreider, you still go into the third. If you get a goal there within the first 5 minutes, you got a game. Next 15 minutes.
You don't give up that goal at the end of the period either.
Yeah, that's true.
Igor played a pretty well game, I thought.
Yeah.
But just going back to Kreider though, he has done
he's invisible.
Nothing.
The tip-ins just aren't even there.
He doesn't do anything in the power play. And he's just terrible. He doesn't do anything 5-on-5. Like literally nothing.
He doesn't have any. Yeah, he's not a great from a offensive perspective. He doesn't provide much when he's not standing in the net tipping it in.
No, literally he's a zero. And
it's not even like he's getting chances either.
No, not when's the last time you're like, oh my god, Kreider could have scored that 5-on-5?
Yeah. Other than the power Carolina,
play, yeah. Well, that was a power play, no?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about just in general, or just 5-on-5?
I can't remember a chance where I was like, oh my god, wow, that was a good chance by Kreider. He almost scored. Doesn't get breakaways. He doesn't get any good shots. He doesn't have a good shot. First off, to begin with.
We could talk about that too. They don't score on breakaways.
Oh my god, they
either.
Advantage on the breakaway again. How many breakaways has he had last month?
I don't even know.
What is
Too
it,
many.
over 10.
And then I think it was what Trocheck passed it. Oh, that was horrible. He passed it,
Dude,
no look behind him. That was
wait, wasn't that right
atrocious.
before? That was right before they scored too, because they
Yeah,
took a penalty at the end of that period. That was on the shorthanded
that
chance.
was terrible. Yeah, it was the shorthanded. Yep.
Dude,
Like those two plays kill you in games. Missing the net and then short special teams. It's been like the story of the season all year. No power play hasn't been good enough. Penalty kill's been all right, but that doesn't really mean anything because you do look at some of the teams that are really good on penalty kills. It's some of the bottom teams in the league. Like for a while there, Nashville
I
was,
think like Chicago's up there.
yeah, Chicago's up there. So penalty kill really doesn't translate to good hockey teams. But yeah, Rangers are fourth. But yeah, Nashville's like top 10. Yeah, Chicago. So but yeah, it's like special teams kill.
The power play it just looks so like discombobulated. Like it doesn't when you're watching, you're not thinking like, oh wow, this is like they're moving the puck really well. They don't have like an identity. They don't move the puck to the net enough, and when they do, they miss the net. And I feel like a lot of times they're fanning out shots. Cough, cough, Mika.
Yeah.
But like it just doesn't, they don't have any identity. And then when they don't get the puck and it goes down the other way, they have trouble like setting it up. Like I don't know, just the power play sucks.
Too much east west, not enough north south.
Yeah, they really just need to condense into the middle and then just throw the puck on net.
Yeah.
Get rebounds, crash the net. Stop trying to snipe. Stop trying to go cross ice because Zibanejad has yet to score in that one time this year.
Oh God, it's been awful. Yeah, power play is 22nd in the NHL. Yeah, Kreider's had a very, very bad year. Very bad year. Like he's one of those guys that obviously, you know what? Yeah, 2 assists. Yeah. When was his last assist? Let's see.
I don't even know. Maybe it was
probably actually in this month.
Yeah, it was probably recent.
First game of the month against Boston.
Jeez.
Last time he had an assist.
And then his first assist was like early in the season too, I think.
Yeah, it was December 6th. Because that was the whole who scores first, or who happens first, Adam Fox or Chris Kreider assist.
Hey, Adam Fox has got like 3 empty netters or something, maybe 2. Yeah, 2 or 3.
It's like he's taken over. Who led the team last year in empty netters? Oh, I forget. I had the stat.
It was probably like Panarin.
Might have been Panarin. VZ had like 3, I think.
It was probably Panarin. He's always out there trying to score for the empty net.
Yeah. Got to pad the stats somehow. Let's see. Empty net goal leaders. Yeah, it's Panarin this year with 3.
That's so
then Kreider has 2. Fox has 2. Riley Smith 1. And Mika has 1.
Igor's going to have 1.
He will. So last season, Panarin led the team with 5. And then it was VZ with 3.
VZ, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Talk about Jimmy VZ. Where has he been? Do you think him and Zach Jones will play again?
They're doing Rangers legend Jimmy VZ bad on the way out here.
Yeah, this is getting ugly.
This is disrespectful.
I saw that. Like Brzezinski might come into the lineup next game, so one to be VZ.
Yeah, it's the whole Zach Jones thing is interesting. I don't think
he hasn't played in forever.
No, he hasn't. And he's clearly frustrated, obviously. I mean, he's doing all the right things. You see him always out on the ice, like early and stuff, but I don't know. I think his time here is, especially with them extending Will Borgen, which we can kind of get into that too. I mean, he was solid, but
dude,
it feels like the. Let me just explain this because the viewers might think I'm crazy.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Does it feel like the Igor contract right after Trouba, where like it was a little rushed?
I thought you were gonna go with the Buchnevich thing, where they forced.
I could go with that too.
You trade Buchnevich and you get Blay, and you keep forcing Blay because you want to be proven right with that trade. Where they trade Kakko, they see he's doing well, and like, oh shit, like we can't trade him away and get nothing for him. So okay, Borgen's played 15 good games for us. Let's give him a 4-year deal, a 5-year deal.
Yeah, well and that's a good way to put it too. My thing with the Igor was like they traded Trouba, and once they got more cap, they were like, okay, let's just pay Igor, even though at that time in the season it wasn't really smart.
No,
it felt like that too, where he plays, 10 10 games, plays well. Okay, let's just give him the money. Like, it's ridiculous. It's not. It's understanding. You got to understand where this team's at right now. What Will Borgen is. He's not a bad player, but I'll tell you what, man. What is with these guys getting paid and then doing stupid stuff? Like Lafreniere gets paid, he ghosts for a month and a half. Borgen gets paid, passes the puck right to McCarr to 14 seconds left, so they score that coming out of the box.
They're 0-2 in the extended.
Yeah, they are 0-2 in the extended era. Maybe that killed the vibes in the locker room.
Dude, that's such a
like
stupid
Urho Vakanainen didn't get his extension, but Borgen did. And now there's a disconnect.
We'll wait for that, but they should have they could have sold. I think they could have got a first-round pick for him.
Borgen?
I honestly think they could have. I think he was playing pretty well, and I think they could have at least got a second. So then they would look good.
I just don't like Drury's handling of the cap this year. Just all the extensions. It's just for a year that's gone so bad to have all these extensions happen. It's only been 2, but it's again both of them kind of felt rushed, forced. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
I hate how they. You remember Cap Friendly?
Cap Friendly was legendary. There will never be another Cap Friendly. I like Puck Pita. It's solid.
Puck Pita is solid, but
Cap
Friendly is better.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, here we go. Let's see this contract guys.
Especially for cap stuff. It's organized, I think.
It's 5 years, $4.1 million per year. It goes to age 33 season. And let's see what the trade. I think there's no trade on it.
Kreider has a -7, by the way.
Kreider sucks. Terrible. Yeah, I mean, come on.
That would be the lowest plus minus of his career if the season ended today. Just looking at the numbers.
Awful.
How many goals do you think? Do you think he even hits 20 goals?
Okay, here's the. Sorry for cutting you off. I found the contract. So it's 5 years, a little under 4.1 million, because it like changes per year. Yeah. So next year it's 5 million. All right. We'll just go by AAP. It's 4.1 a year for the next 5 years, and it's no move this year, like full no move next year. 32 team no or 31 team no move. Then it's 15. Then it's 10, and then it's 6, and then the last year's contract doesn't full no move. But I mean. Will Borgen giving him a no move? Or what are we doing here, right? Will Borgen?
Yeah. And you see what Capo Caco's doing in Seattle still, and it's.
But like, one thing is to make the contract, which I'm not happy about. But then another thing is to give him a full no move, and then a modified no. Like, he doesn't deserve that.
It's still like making all-in moves when you're. I don't want to say you're not all in, but this team we know is not good enough. Like, they can make the playoffs, and that'd be great. And I want them to make the playoffs because then we can get, we'll all get hyped up and talk about the playoff matchup. We'll all talk ourselves into them winning, and I'll enjoy that week and a half of that. But like, let's be honest, this team's not sniffing a cup, and they're making all these moves. They're extending all these players for probably if they lose in the first round or get swept in the first round or even just losing 5, you're probably blowing it up. And now whoever else comes in here, now you're going to have all these you already have some bad contracts. Now you're just adding these contracts, and then you're going to have to kind of retool. It's tough. They're putting themselves in a very tough spot for the future. Difficult spot.
What they should have done, simple, was waited till the deadline. They should have waited till the deadline, or at least a week or 2, whatever the buffer is, 1 week before, 2 weeks before, whatever, and see where we get in the standings, what are the value for the players that are expiring, see what we get for them.
Mm-hmm.
They opinion, I think they got to buy that up to deadline. I mean,
Yeah.
They have to.
I agree. It's. I don't know what they're quite going to do.
You can't extend Will Borgen and then just sell everything else off. You just look like an idiot.
Yeah, it feels like they're gonna buy, or do they just kind of stand pat like they did last year? Or does Drury not want to get really aggressive?
They are kind of caught in no man's land. I think at the moment. I mean, who knows? I mean, they could rip off what How many games do they have left until the deadline? Maybe like 15.
15-ish. maybe
you
even
win,
less because of the break they've got coming up. So
if you win like
not much.
10, if you win like 10, just say we'll say 12, 12 games to the deadline. We'll just say that as in
Yeah.
10 out of 12 games. You should be comfortably into a playoff spot at that point. So okay, you buy, but then it's going to probably be where they're like 1 point in, 2. It's going to be like a 3-point. I think either way, where they're either 3 points out of it, 3 points into it, like in this playoff spot, a 3-point lead. It's going to be like a 3-point buffer.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah, it's just they're in a really weird spot. I mean, right? We always say mediocrity is the worst place to be in sports. You're not good enough to suck and tank and get James Higgins, but you're also not good. You're not bad enough to suck and tank, but you're also not good enough to make a run at the playoffs. That's where the Rangers kind of are right now, where you're 3 points out. They've been average maybe below average. Probably they've been below average, I guess, expectations, but hockey wise, like they've been average, like league wide, they've been average, but in terms of what they were supposed to be, well below average. So I thought they were just going to wait too, especially this break. I've said that for a while now that they would wait until this break and make moves, even if that meant moving on from, Laviolette or something like that. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of go by this deadline and nothing happens. Drury kind of just stands pat and's like, I already made all
That
these
can't
moves
happen.
earlier here.
That can't happen.
It can't, but I mean, it happened last year and it shouldn't have.
He's got
this year is probably more reasoning behind it, saying, "Oh,
then
not a
honestly,
move away."
I honestly will be rooting for them to lose if that's what they're going to do, and they got to lose as much as possible, so they have to sell.
Yeah.
Because
so you would rather them either sell or just go all in.
At least if you sell, you can't get this point.
You want a clear vision coming out of the deadline.
Yeah, like you sell, you get assets, and you reset. Or like if you buy in, there's still a chance that you miss the playoffs, right? So then, there's not really a
realistically selling is the smarter move. Like long term, selling would be the smarter move because let's be honest, this team's probably not winning. Even if you go,
you could sell. Yeah, I mean, you can even sell and maybe make the playoffs.
Yeah, you can sell. Yeah,
there's still enough here.
Yeah, I agree. But even if you're all in, your total all in move is like JT Miller, I don't think he's enough to.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, but I guess if you're gonna make a move, it's probably for the future too. And JT Miller's not a rental.
Yeah.
Maybe Pettersson. Maybe go and get Pettersson.
One of them's got to get split up, right?
Or both. Maybe they trade both of them and just want to reset it.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, they're in such a weird spot, and it's just frustrating because you see stretches like they just had where they look good. They don't look like they did last year, of course, but they look good. They kind of show signs of at least what they were early in the season, where they're scoring. The 11-1 between Ottawa and Philly, like that was two great performances. We talked about it a ton this year, how a lot of these games were way too close. They weren't blowing teams out. Well, there you have it right there. They blew teams out back-to-back nights. And now you kind of, here we are again. You lose that game to Colorado. You've had a couple really tough overtime losses in games that you should have won, or even some of these games that could have went to overtime. And then you have it carry into Carolina, and Carolina was a clunker. And how many of those clunkers have we seen? Like, there's been so many times this year where this team just doesn't look ready to play. It's just terrible. It's pathetic, is what it's sad. Really, it's anything. Because, like, I don't know. I just have I think they're going to go on a roll, but I have a weird feeling that this team, maybe they do the opposite of it, which is probably more likely because this team is that type of team that's going to get there and then lose. But it feels like this team's going to go on a roll, and then they're just going to like March or late March into April, final like 10 games. They're just going to lie down and get spanked, and they're going to like limp into the playoffs, and they're going to get.
You're saying that they're going to play well enough to get like pretty much into the playoffs and just bottom out as far as
like they're going to go on some heater here. they're gonna like dominate March, and in like late March into April, that final like 7-8 game stretch, they're just gonna blow it. And yeah, and we're all gonna be like, oh, here come the Rangers, and they blow it, and they're gonna go into the playoffs and lose.
You'll be seeing all the people on Twitter being like, for all those people that were rooting for us.
Oh, that's gonna happen. 100. No matter what, there is going to be like a civil war on Rangers Twitter, because it's either going to have a portion of the fan base, if this team does go deep, that's going to be like, I told you, this is why you go all in. And there's going to be a portion of the fan base, which this portion will probably be correct, where you want them to tank. They don't. They make the playoffs, they get bounced, and you're like, yeah, I told you they should have tanked, So, yeah. Either way, it's a lose-lose, I guess, from the fans, from a fan like agreement perspective. Even if they win the cup, they're still going to be the told you so's, because not the entire fan base.
This is like the first year since like 2020 where I just don't think they can win the cup.
Yeah,
I think the other years, well, not saying that I thought they were going to win the cup the last like 4 years or whatever, but I thought there was a chance.
Last year,
even in 2023, I was all bought in when they had Tarasenko and Kane.
Yeah, no, Tarasenko and Kane, that deadline was all in. The only thing with that team was like they were not that good.
Yeah, like, they had some stretches like this year. They were really bad.
And even when Kane and Tarasenko came over, it took them a while. They weren't.
I know, bad. Like, I don't know. I just felt like.
Yeah, I did too. I was fired up for Kane and Tarasenko, especially Kane, because that felt like it was coming for a while. Multi-time Cup champion, of course. Probably the greatest, more American-born player. We were all hyped up for Kane and all that,
but the year before too. I mean, you go up 2-0 in the conference final, and then you get to like if you win that series,
they were up 3-0 in game 2 or game 3.
Anything's possible.
Right? 2-0. I think they were 2-0.
Yeah. You go up 2-0 in game 3. You get to the finals.
Yeah, 2-0 in that 3.
If you win that game, you need one more, and then go to the finals. Anything like they could have won the cup that year.
Yeah, no, they should have. I mean, they dominated Tampa in both those games.
Although
one thing was Tampa had that long layoff, and it kind of benefited the Rangers the first 2 games, because the Rangers, remember, they had that one day off, then they played.
Yeah,
the Carolina game 7, and they played that like Wednesday, and that actually benefited the Rangers because it took Tampa like 2 games to kind of get their feet underneath them, and then once they went back home, and the Rangers just blew it. And same thing that happened against Florida, different number of games, because Florida, they split, but same thing that happened against Florida, where they go back to Florida. They did go up 2-1, but then late in the series, they had no offense. You haven't freaking Wenberg.
They struggle in close series, this team.
They do, because they can't score.
I feel like when they were down, they're like, okay, we got nothing to lose, whatever.
Yeah, that was the story of 22, was down 3-1, down 2-0, and then up 2-0, and they couldn't do it.
I mean, yeah, if you look at these series where they kind of took the stronghold in, they struggled to extend the series or close out the series, like build on it. Like besides the Capitals, they suck. Like they're good this year, but they were terrible last year. But if you look at they were down 3-1 against Pittsburgh, probably played with the mindset of we have nothing to lose, came back. Same as the Hurricane series, down 2-0. Okay, we got nothing to lose, came back, and then you're up 2-0, you blow the lead, and then they collapse. You're up 2-0, the Devils blow the lead, and then you collapse. They almost collapsed against the Hurricanes.
Yeah, they lost. If Kreider didn't have a legacy period, they would have lost. They would have lost game 7.
Yeah. And then against the Panthers, you're down 1. Then you kind of battle back. You win the next 2. You lose game 4, and then you just completely fall apart.
Yeah. So game 5 was a mess, and then game 6 they didn't show up. Mika missed the net. They didn't score. Panarin had the goal. Like 2 minutes left or something. That was it. Kings of garbage time. Yeah, that's been it for the Rangers. I mean, the Devils series, both of them are actually like the Devils series. You knew right when they scored in game 3, it was over. The Dougie Hamilton overtime goal.
I felt the same way after the 4 overtime in the Panthers series.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, you know what? That like the Rangers could have won that game, and now they didn't. Now all the pressure's on the Rangers going home, and they play
going back home. We also, you know how they are too against teams from Florida.
They can't win that pressure game. They can't.
Even that Carolina series too. That was that series where, right? You have both teams are winning at home, and the Rangers kind of went in like Game 7 on the road. Carolina at that point, because they beat Boston, but Carolina couldn't win games on the road.
Yeah, they won
Because remember
4
that?
games
Yeah, they
against.
went.
Mhm.
Yeah, all of them were at home, and this series too, or the series against Carolina, same thing. So yeah, this team, like when the pressure's off or when nobody expects them, I guess the saying of like playing when they're playing with like house money, which I hate that saying in sports because I don't agree with it.
It's kind of true
Um,
though. For the
yeah,
Rangers.
it's true. Yeah, the only thing is the whole house money thing is like you never know when you're going to be back. Like if you're in, like as a fan, as a team, you've got to be.
I mean, that's
You
true, but I
can't be
mean,
like, if we lose, it is what it is. You
this
never know what's going to
team,
happen the next year.
this team, time in, time again, there's cracks in the playoffs when
Yeah.
there's expectations and pressure.
Yeah. But I mean, just like last year, right? We could have said last year, oh, this is the start of the Coach Peter era. This team's different. It was just year one of laying the foundation. How's that working for us? It's working real well. Coach Peter's laying the foundation here in year 2. He's taking it away.
I don't know what's going on, but I think at this point we should just kind of watch it how it is, and
Yeah.
if they make the playoffs, great. If they don't, I'll be a little
It's kind of,
disappointed. But
yeah, disappointment. I think you're kind of just watching the games at this point. You're still emotionally invested, but
I feel like the only thing is
win.
really just like in it because like I feel like every game is so big that they need to
Yeah.
win. So like, that kind of gives some sort of extra to the games. But
Yeah.
if you
But
look at
I
it
do.
through like a deeper lens and just see the overall picture, it's like who cares?
Yeah. And I think we're all, this is like last year, I think was probably maybe even 2022 or 23 when they went up 2-0. But last year, they won the President's trophies. They dominated the regular season. They had one stretch in January where they looked bad,
Yeah.
where you were like, this is all in on the cup. I think a lot of Rangers fans know in the back of their mind this team's not winning the cup. So you don't want to nobody's really getting their hopes up because it's like if they lose, you're kind of expecting it. So,
Yeah, I'm trying my best not to do that. I'm like,
no. And every game's playoff. I mean, they got to win game. They got to win these games. Sam and Joe were saying it last night, or no, Tuesday night. They got to win like these games, especially against teams like Carolina. You got Boston coming up on the road. Even Vegas is a big one. I know, doesn't have much for playoff perspective, but just a good team. Second half of back.
and you need the 2 points too.
Yeah, you need points. Yeah. So we'll see.
It's just
They're still gonna go. I'm telling you, they're gonna go on a tear. It's gonna happen. The 10-game point streak, I don't think was a tear.
That wasn't the quote unquote
That wasn't
tear.
a tear. Like the tear to me is like winning 8 of. The
Well,
tear to me is
wait. Have they won 3 in a row since
no, they haven't
that
won
like
3 in a row.
initial start of the season? Like I feel like every
Yeah.
time they're at like 2 in a row and they lose 2.
Well, for a while, they went like a month without winning 2 in a row.
But I'm just saying, I feel like this like stretch of like
Yeah,
the 10-point stretch or whatever, 10-game point.
Yeah, you're right.
They're getting to the 2 wins, like 2 good games, and then always lose the third game. Either well, recently they lost in regulation, but they were always losing a third game in overtime or whatever. They weren't getting the third win in a row.
Yeah.
I feel like once you get that third win, I consider 3 wins like a win streak. 2 wins is just I think that's just 2 games in a row. You win. I think they need to get to that third win. And I think then the momentum will start going. Where I think this 2 wins in a row is great, but I think once you get to that third win in a row, then I think it starts to go. They need to get to that third win if they do end up going on your big run. The Bubbs are on.
Yeah, the Bubbs are on 5-6 in a row. Like it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when.
We'll see.
Maybe this is it. 5 in a row before the break. That'd be typical Rangers. Win 5 in a row before the break. Not even really typical Rangers, but that'd just be pain. 5 in a row before the break, and then they get 2 weeks off and they come out flat. And they look awful.
No, I have a feeling they're going to be like 500, and then like first interview back, the coaches, the players are like, oh, it was really good to get rest, good break, mental reset, and now we're ready to go down the stretch.
Yeah. Just like they said after that winter break, after the holiday break. Remember, they're like, oh, good reset, and then they lost.
They got fucking destroyed by the Tampa teams.
Florida.
Florida.
And then they probably phantom IR'd Igor.
Yeah.
After that. So anyway, goal picks. So Carolina, they didn't score. So
Yeah, I mean, we picked
We picked.
we picked guys for that game, but it doesn't really matter. Um,
Did we do picks already for the rest of them?
we can just
We
say
did.
them. I think I got them.
Yeah. We did Kreider. I have Kreider versus Boston, Trocheck versus Vegas. We could do the other Boston game since that's will be Wednesday. If you want to go first, you can go.
Well, I got Cooley and Heedle for the next two, and
All
then
right.
for that Boston game, that's in obviously Boston, right? Because they already played New York twice. That would mean
Home. The Saturday Boston game's away. Wednesday Boston game's home.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wrong again. For some
I
reason,
think they have. I
for some
think
reason,
this.
I thought they played at the Garden on Saturday. You're right though. I don't know.
I can't stand like afternoon games. I'm just not a fan. Give me normal 7 o'clock starts every game, and I'm fine.
I go Coley at Boston, Heedle at the Knights, and then the Boston game on Wednesday. I don't know. Let's do someone I never do.
Will Borgen.
I'll do Riley Smith. I don't know.
Ooh. All right. Riley Smith. I'll go. I don't know. I should probably go something random too. I mean, Kreider versus Boston ain't gonna work. So
Well,
maybe I should play
you could double dip with Kreider.
double dip Kreider.
You know,
Kreider, Boston, Trocheck, Vegas. Give me Edstrom.
Eddie, Big
That's
Ed.
stupid, but give me Edstrom.
Better chance of like
Big
him
Ed.
scoring than Kreider.
Yeah, he does have a better chance.
I
Hey, he
think
scored a little bit. I think he has the same amount of goals this month.
I think
He
Kreider has
scored
officially been
Slovenia.
banned.
Yeah, he's like
Uh,
Mika. Mika got taken off, but he's kind of banned again.
I think I'm banding Kreider from my goal picks, and Mika is also banned again.
Yeah, he's on like trial again.
No, Mika's just straight up banned again for me.
Banned
Him
again.
and Kreider both banned.
Not gonna give him a chance. That's
No.
fair.
They're both banned. There's like 0% chance that I'm picking them.
All right. Any closing thoughts?
I don't know. It just feels like, again, a lot of it's kind of like the same, where hopefully we're not about to go into, a big
Slump.
big slump. That would be kind of a disastrous thing to happen, at least at this point of the season. But, it feels like this team is either going to go. This is a huge part of the season. Not only that we're playing teams that are in it with us, but
Yeah.
are they going to just go back to their old ways? Are they going to. Were the last couple games kind of just,
Just fluke. Yeah.
Or
Hopefully.
Is it like, they're going to be bad again? We'll see. I mean, big couple games coming up against Boston, so you got to win both of those.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. They got to turn it around. Got on a stretch here going into this break. 2 weeks going to be a long time. I mean, they got the Four Nations face-off, but 2 weeks without Rangers hockey is going to be a while. But it happens.
Nice. Maybe it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It might be nice. You're right. If they lose 5 straight, it'll be really nice.
Yeah.
If they lose 7 straight combined in the last 2, then it'll be great. Then they could just hit the off season. They don't even have to come back. But yeah, that'll do it. We will catch you guys next week. Hopefully, at least 2-1. Take the 2 Boston games. Lose the second half, the back-to-back to Vegas. That's fine if that happens. Not gonna. If they beat Boston twice and lose to Vegas, I think you take that. Pick up. Have that really. What is it then? Kind of an 8-point swing there from Boston. Yeah, because you could win both those games.
What are the last 2 games you said again?
Last 3 games after Boston.
You said they have 2 games, right? After that, you said Blue Jackets and
Pittsburgh and Blue Jackets.
All right, those are another 2 big games. I mean, maybe not so as much as Pittsburgh, but again, it's the same thing. You just got to get 2 points regardless. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Blue Jackets will be another big one.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, yeah, they're kind of buried, but yeah. So anyway, go Rangers.